Hi, this is Chris from Guitarist.
And I'm Lee from Andertons.
And we're here with Jay from Blackstar, who's the product support manager, who's going to show us the new and very exciting Beam.
It is. So here it is. It's kind of very much looking like an addition to their very, very popular ID Core family. But Jay, thanks for coming in, and you better start telling us about this little product.
Yeah, the upgrade is it actually has a tuned cabinet, so we've got two separate ports here.
Yeah.
And each one is tuned for that separate enclosure. So it's a full range cabinet like the ID Core, but much nicer sounding.
Now you're holding an acoustic guitar there, but if you don't play acoustic guitar, don't stop watching just yet, because this is a sort of a multi-purpose, do a bit of everything amplifier,
Right.
isn't it?
Hence the name Beam. It stands for
Beam.
bass, electric, acoustic, and music.
Awesome. So essentially it can be used as any one of those three guitar amplifiers, or just as a music player in your home, or both simultaneously.
Plus Bluetooth as well on top of that.
So we're starting with the acoustic.
Yeah. So you've got the original 6 presets like on the ID Core, and you got a separate bank for acoustic simulator, and then also bass.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're on the acoustic right now, so the flat response one, the normal one. A dynamic version of that. It's a little bit more kind of a scoopy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, here's the original one. And then the second channel.
And you've got some effects that you can sort of dial in. I know you've got a little bit of reverb on there.
Right,
What
there's
else can we do?
12 super wide stereo effects. You've got 4 reverbs, 4 delays, 4 modulated effects, tap tempo for all the effects, the same as the ID Core. So again, you've got the 2 acoustic channels plus 2 acoustic simulations for electric guitar.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do that when we get the electric guitar,
Yeah.
then, I guess, can't we? Have you got a piece that you want to sort of jam over with this for an extended bit, or are you just happy just to do a little bit of playing now?
Yeah, just a bit of playing's fine right now.
Cool. Let's just do a little extend. Nice stretch.
Actually, it's kind of stuck. Could you give me a hand? I'm stuck, actually.
I think it's yet another very small box from Blackstar that sounds about 17 times its physical size, doesn't
Yeah.
it? You know, just I presume that it's going to come over a little on the video because we're using stereo mics, but you know, you really do have to be sat in the room with these things, don't you?
Right. It's a smaller enclosure than the previous, than even our ID Core 10. But it's because of the ported cabinet, the tuned enclosure. It's got more low end, more top end. It's a better piece. It's more pro.
It's worth trying to listen to this video either with some headphones or something where you've got a pair of stereo speakers to get that effect. If you're just listening to it on your iPhone, obviously you're going to get quite a different vibe from it. So we've heard it with acoustic and it sounds superb.
Okay.
What's the next one? Bass. Don't go away. Stay watching the bass one. So we're on the bass mode now. Same as the acoustic vibe. There are two bass modes. So what's the difference between the two?
So there's a classic mode and a modern mode.
Okay.
So this is right now is a straight. Okay, that's just the classic. It's got nice low ends, flat response. Also, the effects change in this version of it. So when you go to the bass mode, the reverb is history.
Right.
I mean, unless you're.
Oh, I see, and it becomes a distortion option.
It becomes distortion, and there's 4 kinds. There's a drive.
Yeah.
There's a distortion, modern, which is more of a higher gain distortion, and then also fuzz, the ever popular fuzz. And the level control becomes the amount of distortion.
Okay.
And the various levels within the effects group are a mix between the dry signal and the distortion.
Let's hear it with a bit of dirt.
So, for example, here's the. That's my mom's favorite sound. She loves that.
What was that Stranglers tune that had the old
Peaches.
do?
Also, in place of the trem currently, we have an envelope filter as well.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have an envelope filter. You got to have it. So here's, I'll flip that on for a second here in conjunction.
It's rhubarb and custard, isn't it?
That will mean nothing to anyone outside of the UK who's anything sort of, younger than about 40, unfortunately. But go and Google rhubarb and custard. Actually, perhaps, and make sure safe filtering is switched on.
So that gives you a variety of sounds for basses. It's great for the guy playing at home. Again, you can stream with your Bluetooth your backtracks, even like a drum sequence or what have you, to jam along with it. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go over to the final. Well, it's not quite the final one. The third instrument that you can kind of plug through this.
Okay.
So we're on the electric mode now, and you've got a couple of different electric
I've got
voices
the
here.
6 voices, the original one from ID Core, so it goes from clean to scream, as we say.
How's it changing then? I know you guys can't see this over here, but so the red light indicates what it's the first one, and then there's another light.
Well, what you have is the green bank are all the acoustic,
Right.
what have you.
Oh, you're pressing the.
Right, I'm
I see,
pressing it,
very
yeah,
clever.
through the
So that,
miracle of science.
yes.
So I've got the 6 Blackstar, they're all red, that's the original bank.
Yeah.
The green bank are the new additional ones, so there's 6
Got it.
original and 6 additional ones that are
Got
there, so
it.
a total of 12.
Yeah.
So right now it's just a standard original. Add additional effects, you can do the old. Or you can do, here's a kind of.
The stereo thing's really happening
great.
there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a big sound.
Bit more gain. The ever popular we have the Saturday morning at the guitar store preset.
Now, is this being super duper clever and just remembering what effects you've put on for each of the presets so that when you go back it recalls the correct ones?
And actually what's kind of a cool little trick on this thing that these guys came up with, I'm sure on purpose, is if you create a preset, for example, here's like the kind of a classic American thing. If I recall the modulation, it'll remember the version I picked out before.
Oh, okay.
So for example, I've got it set up to be. So if I change the preset again, come back here, here's how it's set up, it's just dry. Firm. And then here's my.
That's cool.
So it gives you basically quite a few presets by just a couple of buttons.
Yeah. Couple of other features here. You've got the headphone or emulated output. Is that using the same emulation that's in the sort of the HT series to do the cabinet emulation?
No, it's actually what's cool about this was it was actually written for full range because the
okay.
speakers are full range to begin with. So it has the benefit of actually being set up from the get-go for full range. So another thing about this, if I go over here real quick before I forget, is the acoustic emulation. So it's set up for either a single coil or humbucking. This is the single coil version. Okay. And then here's the humbucking version of that. Switches over here.
What's the official power of this?
2x10, so 20 watt stereo.
Oh, okay, because it's kind of it's sounding like very much a sort of a home use desktop kind
That's
of vibe.
totally what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no handle on it, for example. It makes
Yeah.
it look a little nicer in the home.
Yeah.
It's a guy for your desk, and you could stream your music by Bluetooth on here as well. So.
Speaking of which,
So just a quick little example about I'll play a little bit of whatever, just how you can hear the actual playback.
because you're trying to angle this actually as don't just have this in your house as a guitar amplifier. Have this in the house to just listen to music through.
I mean, if you're hanging out, for example, you want some music in your house or a store, for example, or a shop, as you guys all call it. Say is when you're playing music at low levels, it actually compensates for the lack of volume, and it can boost the low end. So you're
like built-in loudness control,
exactly
automatic.
So right now we're got even at low levels, it's got a fatness to it.
Yeah, definitely. It's not tinny at all, is it? You know.
No, and if you crank it up a bit.
We need Donald Fagen to kick in. Come on, band. A bit further. It's like we've picked the one track with the gigantic intro of just drums, haven't we? For sort of
Just by chance.
just by chance, yeah.
Yeah. Let me back up here for a.
Put something else on.
Any preference? What are you in the mood for?
Oh, there we go. Don't get a proposition like that every day in these demos. This'll do. How much are these? In English money? 220. Well, 229. I've spent more money on a DAB radio thing for my house that does this, that just plays music through it, and doesn't sound any better than that. So
Exactly. So let me. The other part, of course.
I like it. Leave it on in the background.
You like it? No,
It's just jazz time, isn't it?
This album was recorded I think 35 years ago, maybe longer. It still sounds killer.
Who is it?
David Spinoza.
Better turn it off before we get sued by the copyright
sorry.
police.
Okay, sorry. Stop.
Sorry, David Spinoza. It's
You're
very
out of here.
good. Go and
There
buy
you
it
go.
on
Okay.
iTunes.
So you could obviously play along with the tracks. If you're your drum machine or what have you, via Bluetooth. So
Via Bluetooth, or you can plug it in. So
Correct.
either, if you don't,
Either way.
if your device isn't
you have
Bluetooth,
headphones.
then
You have, of course, USB. We have the Insider software, so you can always modify all the presets, exchange presets. There's a phrase trainer, there's a metronome. It's all free of charge, and free is always good.
what kind of stuff have you got when you're at home, just jamming wise?
I don't know really. It's just a weird one. I play a lot of acoustic at home, which obviously doesn't help. That's really your question.
Thanks for that.
yeah. But yeah, I've kind of used I've used the iPad a lot, in recent years. But obviously that sounds incredibly small and tinny compared to something like that, So I think this is, it's one of those. It's one of those amplifiers that's just a perfect thing that you can actually get away with having in your living room, because it doesn't look like a huge slab of backline. It looks quite cute. It's quite cool. It's not going to sort of scare off anybody who's used to something like a DAB radio or all that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm finding more and more at home that I am just trying to sort of plug into a hi-fi, but I end up with a phone that's doing the sort of the drive tones and then some weird interface thing plugged into the side of it. And into
or the hi-fi's
some
over
dodgy
here.
Hi-fi, yeah.
Right.
So, I can see these things just becoming just like every guitar player will just be like, you'll have your preferred
Guitar
choice of
player,
these.
bass player, acoustic player, whatever.
Yeah, it's very cool that you can do all three kind of instruments through it.
So there's a USB on the unit.
I see.
Right there.
So,
which is for recording or for the Insider software, but it's for recording, say, with Pro Tools, GarageBand, what have you.
So it's either you've got the editor. So if you plug your computer in via USB, what do you get, like extended controls over the effects?
Right, because on here you've got
sounds and
the
stuff?
ISF tone control, for example.
Mhm.
On the editor, it gives you 3 bands of EQ plus
Right.
the ISF.
Yeah. And it'll do just like a stereo recording as well into your.
Yeah, you can select what you want. You can also reamp with the software.
Oh really?
Yeah. These
So
guys are very clever.
what does it do then? Just record one dry channel, one
It's
wet
it's
channel.
selectable,
And then,
either stereo or wet and dry.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
That's extremely useful, actually.
Yeah, these guys are very clever. I mean,
They are.
surprisingly
They're clever
clever.
people, these Blackstar people. Aren't they? Anything on the back? What's that other jack socket for on the back?
Don't worry about that.
Should I?
Sorry, that's actually that's set up for a foot switch. It works 2 different ways. Either you can have it as it's a 2-button foot switch. It goes either up the presets or down the presets.
Okay.
Or you can select to have your 2 favorite presets, the A, B, back and forth, and then the second button is your DSP off and on.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
selectable via the Insider software, which is free again.
Very cool. Well, look, I think you should play out with something.
Okay, so sure.